Hey everyone, welcome back to my cozy corner. It's your girl Jen, and if you're new here, welcome. Just a regular old college student at Cal State Dominguez. But if you're not new here, welcome back to the chaos, you guys. It's officially the month of March, and it's honestly I've got a lot of stuff that I want to express and talk about, and I'll do that in a future video. And it's basically all going to be relating to the medical assistant program through UCLA. I'm yeah, y'all, I'm done. I'm done with everything. And I don't mean that in like a oh, I'm done with this situation. No, I mean like I'm literally finished with this program. I had my certification exam, I believe last Thursday, and I passed. You guys, I passed. Oh my god. Okay, look, I get emotional every time I think about it, and it's awesome because there's a lot of good stuff going on right now in my life, and I'm just waiting to talk about it. I want to say that I want to have my graduation ceremony, and I want to graduate and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm officially a UCLA alum." So I'm waiting for that. And that's probably going to happen within like maybe April or May. And so I'm waiting for that to happen, but definitely stay tuned for a video coming up in the next coming months because you guys, it's full circle, and I don't want to like gush over it and get all like giddy and stuff like that, but I do want to talk about this month's TBR. It is officially the month of March, and it's actually March 10th, so or I'm sorry, it's actually March 11th, which is even worse because I did start reading my TBR already. However, it's just, guys, I've been busy. You guys, I've been so busy. And so I have not been able to talk about the TBR, talk about anything because, last week I talked about my February TBR wrap up. And so now I'm going to talk about my March TBR, get into it. But without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So we have 3 books that we're reading this month. We first have the Priory of the Orange Tree duology. Now, guys, I'm technically halfway through this book and it's already March 10th, which means I'm kind of behind considering there's 30 days in March. I'm halfway through the book and we're already on March 10th, which means I'm a little behind because this is a thick book, girly. This is a thick girly. She's 800 pages long and she's taking some time to get to know. And I'm not gonna lie, 200 pages in, I kind of wanted to tap out because I was like, what is this book even about? Who are all these people? What's going on? And why do I care about it? However, after that like 300 page mark, I was like, oh, now we're getting into some sauce. We added the seasonings, we added the spice, we added the ingredients. Now we're gonna cook. And girl, did she cook. Okay, so Priory the Orange Tree is a little hard to describe because there's like 4 or 5 different people that we're seeing, like their POVs, but they all seemingly don't correlate to each other. Like we have a queen and her like mistresses and like bedchamber people, and then we have the point of view of one of her bed maidens or whatever you call it, and then we also have they're on one side of the world. Okay, then we have I guess on the other side of the world, we have this like girl who's going through training to become a dragon rider. There are dragons in this book, as you can see from this one. However, this is an evil dragon. The dragons that we're talking about on the other side of the world is like, I guess, serpentine, whatever you want to call it. They're more based off of like Chinese and Southeast Asian mythology of like how the dragons here in this book are more relating to snakes and like serpentine features, very relating to like the water and the wind and kind of just like very peaceful creatures type stuff. Whereas the dragon in this book is I'm not really sure because it kind of doesn't really describe like what kind of dragon it is. Like we see a long snake looking dragon. We see wings, so probably something closer to Western mythology where it's like they're 4-legged creatures, they're huge, kind of like something closer to Fourth Wing with Taryn, but this guy's evil. And the point is, a long time ago, the queen's family ended up like eradicating these guys. So there's like a quote where it was like, I am paraphrasing here, and I'll like put the quote above somewhere here, but it was like, at the end of the battle when like fire was coming up from the earth, all of a sudden like a comet or like some light came down and like took care of it. It was like something about balance. It was giving like the avatar of Korra, like Korra the Last Airbender or whatever, the Avatar Korra, whatever the heck, the Legend of Korra, there we go. Where it was like she had a season, I think in season 3, where like harmony was no longer in balance, and so both bad and good were like battling each other. That's kind of something similar to like what the prophecy in here was described. But essentially there's the House of Berethnet is the queen's like house name, and so she's been told all her life, and all her citizens know this, that as long as her family and her reign like stands, as long as she keeps procreating and her daughter procreates, etc., etc., like the dragon will no longer like be able to. It'll still be sleeping. It will not be able to come up. It will not be able to like eradicate the earth or whatever the heck. But now apparently, surprise, surprise, that is not true. And the dragon was basically just asleep for how many years, and now it's coming back. The theory that one character who's like in prison now because of this theory, ended up bringing up was like every so many thousand years, a comet comes to Earth and it takes care of the dragons and put them into a sleep. That's what actually causes the dragons to stay asleep. It's not the House of Berethnet. It's not the Queen. The Queen literally has no power. She's just mortal. She's a regular old person, which is like the secret that she's trying to keep from her people or whatever, because she's considered like a goddess. She's like worshipped as one. She's like, people like fall over their knees for her, whatever. But anyway, besides the point, I'm still kind of trying to think about what it is, like what it's about, what this whole book is about. I'm having a fun time. I kind of feel like because this book is so thick, I feel like the author didn't want to write multiple books and decided to just create one epic fantasy, which I love. However, because it's so big, it's kind of hard to digest, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to read you the premise on the back of the book. The House of Berethnet has ruled Innis for 1,000 years. Still unwed, Queen Sabran IX must conceive a daughter to protect her realm from destruction. But assassins are getting closer to her door. Ed Durian is an outsider at her court. Though she has risen to the position of lady-in-waiting, she is loyal to a hidden society of mages. Ed keeps a watchful eye on Sabran, secretly protecting her with forbidden magic. Across the Dark Sea, Tane has trained to be a dragon rider since she was a child, but is forced to make a choice that could see her life unravel. Meanwhile, the undivided East and West refuse to parley, and forces of chaos are rising from their sleep. So, essentially two sides. I'm guessing the two dragon types are going to end up fighting each other, and then everything will be cool at the end. We already faced one death in this book. We've already had like one sex scene in this book, although it is fade to black. So if you guys are concerned about spice scenes, definitely recommend this type of book. I'm loving it so far. I'm really enjoying the politics, the kind of like everyone plays their own role and everyone has their own secrets that they're hiding. So I'm really excited to see what it's going to bring about. But then that brings us to our next book. This is the prequel to the Priory of the Orange Tree. This is called A Day of Fallen Night. And this book is the prequel. Samantha Shannon draws readers back into the world of the Priory of the Orange Tree and into the lives of three women, showing us a course of events that shaped their world for generations to come. Tanuva Melim is a sister of the Priory. For 50 years, she has trained to slay worms, but none have appeared since the Nameless One, and the younger generation is starting to question the Priory's purpose. To the north, the Queendom of Innis, Sabran the Ambitious. Oh, okay, so this is about Sabran the Ninth. Kind of copied and pasted and like put Sabran the Ambitious, which is talked about with this book with Sabran the Ninth. Like she talks about it a lot. Sabran the Ninth is the queen, if that makes sense. But yeah, continuing. Sabran the Ambitious has married the new king of Hroth, narrowly saving both realms from ruin. Their daughter Glorian, also another name that's brought up in this book, or in the first book, trails in their shadow, exactly where she wants to be. The dragons of the east have slept for centuries. Dumai has spent her life in a Sakanese mountain temple, trying to wake the gods from their long slumber. Now someone from her mother's past is coming to upend her fate. When the Dreadmount erupts, bringing with it an age of terror and violence, these women must find the strength to protect mankind from a devastating threat. That sounds pretty cool. So I'm wondering if like the first book, The Priory of the Orange Tree, is going to talk about like the post like war between the two types of dragons, and then this one here is like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I'm really looking forward to it though. It's definitely like an epic fantasy. Like guys, look. I'm gonna put the mic down for a second. You guys need to see this. These two books put together are easily over 2,000 pages long together. And guys, I'm gonna cry because this is gonna take up all month to read, which is why my March TBR is so small this month. I'm only planning to read 3 books. I am planning to get the Kindle Unlimited version of the Day of Fallen Night or the Everand version, whatever one comes to me first, just because It's easier to swipe. I talked about this before in another video. It's easier to swipe on my phone and read through my phone than it is to like, or not easier, but it's faster than to flip pages through a book, if that makes sense. So that is The Day of Fallen Night and The Priory of the Orange Tree. And our last book that we plan to read this month is called Immortal Dark. Now, I saw this at Barnes. No, I didn't. Not Barnes. I saw this at Book Off, and it was for a really cheap price, and I was like, oh, I really would love to get this book. And so it was on my like want to read list from Goodreads for like the longest time, just because I heard what is her name? I heard Jamie Falk like talk about it from a previous video, and she really recommended it. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, I have to pick this up. So this book, For Immortal Dark, is about an orphaned heiress named Kidan Arane, who grew up far from the arcane society she was born into, where human bloodlines gain power through vampire companionship. When her sister June disappears, Kidan is convinced a vampire stole her, the very vampire bound to their family, the cruel yet captivating Susenyo Sagad. To find June, Kidan must infiltrate the elite Oxley University, where she must survive the living with Susenyos, who even as he does everything he can to drive her away. It doesn't matter that Susenyos' wickedness speaks to Kidan's own violent nature and tempts her to surrender to a life of darkness. She must find her sister and kill Susenyos at all costs. When a murder mirroring June's disappearance shakes Uxley, Kidan sinks further into the ruthless underworld of vampires, risking her very soul. There she discovers a centuries-old threat, and June could be at the center of it. To save her sister, Kidan must bring Uxley to its knees and either break free of the horrors of her own actions or embrace the dark entanglements of love and the blood it requires. Debut author brings to life a world of vampires that is dangerously romantic, ruthlessly blah 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 blah. A lost heiress, a soulless vampire, and a secret drenched in blood. That sounds really fun, actually. I'm excited. This is giving dark academia, and I'm here for it. And so that is the 3 books that I have this month. Oh my god, guys, I'm really excited. I can't really talk about it because I don't really like want to spoil it too much, but this month and the coming months are just going to be super exciting and super something that I'm looking forward to. So if you like this video and if you're looking forward to the upcoming video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload a new video, and go ahead and comment down below if you guys have read any of these books, and if you have, please let me know what the Priory of the Orange Tree is about, because guys, I'm having such a hard time explaining what it's about. But that will be all from me this week, and I will probably see you guys next week with a brand new video. Bye guys!